este lado tenemos las vitaminas y los minerales. En este lado tenemos las comidas. Y por favor, dibujan una línea de la vitamina a la comida. Vitamina A, la zanahoria, el potasio, plátano, vitamina D. Muy bien, muy bien.
Today we're talking about nutrition, reviewing the fruits and vegetables, how to prepare food a little bit, just about how to boil your water, washing your fruit or washing your hands. We try to split up each day in the middle by running outside for a while and so the kids can come back in with new energy.
Chicos, fila, por favor. En la sombra.
Nosotros vamos a decir una comida y todos necesitan correr al grupo.
Todos a la leche, por favor.
Todos los nombres de hueso ahora. Sí. Chicos, muy bien.
So each day we choose a theme, and Monday we started teaching them a little bit about bones and muscles. And so this is, a basic concept. Why is it important to take care of our bones?
Dígame una cosa que los huesos necesitan.
Calcio.
Calcio, sí. ¿Dónde podemos buscar el calcio?
En el queso.
La leche, el yogur y el queso, sí.
We put a lot of thought into what we're teaching the kids. The big issue at such high altitude is the sun. But one thing that we were explicitly told is not to tell them to wear sunscreen because that's just not available to them.
Tenemos una camiseta para cada persona aquí.
When we went to buy the t-shirts, we decided to buy long sleeve shirts instead of short sleeve shirts. An extra means of protection against the sun.
Entonces hoy podemos dibujar los huesos del brazo en la manga de la camiseta.
Son 3 huesos en el brazo. Tienes un hueso aquí y 2 aquí. ¿Sí? ¿Está bien?
Con los americanos aprendí cómo tenemos que cuidarnos nuestro cuerpo, cómo debemos alimentarnos, con verduras, vitaminas, calcio, hierro, lo que tienen así. Nos enseña con mucho amor.
It's been eye-opening for me to see how a different country practices medicine. We're at the ES Hospital, which is one of the private hospitals here in Riobamba, and we're going to be going in for a laparoscopic cholecystectomy, or where they take out the gallbladder without using big incisions. This is also my first time in the operating room, so it's pretty exciting for me. I'm able to stand right by the patient and kind of help the physicians to hold some of the instruments just to make sure things are steady. You can see on the video camera the same screen that the physicians use, so you really get a front row view. And it's nice because you're working right with the physician, so you can ask the surgeons questions about what's going on, what are we seeing.
¿Cómo sabe? Es vesícula y no
en el hígado, porque la característica anatómica es color, y uno ni bien se empieza a entrar al hígado, el hígado sangra.
Sí, es más sangre.
Sí. Everyone here in Ecuador really speaks Spanish for the most part. It's been challenging, but it's really forced me to learn to listen, to ask the right questions.
También, ¿a qué otra cosa van a ser alérgicos los pacientes?
No sé cómo se dice, peanuts.
Hacia la comida. Muy bien.
As part of the Cachamsi program in the afternoons, it's mostly medical Spanish, but I also get to learn, the grammar things, like how to conjugate verbs and all the different tenses, and a lot of vocabulary.
O a su vez, le podemos decir lo o la operaron.
¿Cuál lo, la?
Sí, lo es para un hombre, la es para una mujer.
I live with the Martinez Ruales. A lot of the Spanish that I'm learning is happening in the home and at my meals.
Hoy en la clase hablamos de cómo podemos motivar a otras personas a cambiar.
Se llama en español cambio de estilo de vida y cambio de comportamiento.
To really live with a family and really understand what the culture can be like, I think gives you a whole new perspective. Instead of just learning the medical side, we're really getting a chance to experience the entire culture and understand a little bit more about the background of our Hispanic patients rather than just, viewing them as patients.
Yo fui militar, ahora que ya estoy afuera en la vida civil, también ahora que ha venido Owen, estoy practicando poco a poco.
I started running with my host father here and he just ran me into the ground. I told him I wanted to go on an easy run, so he took me on a 15-kilometer run around the area. Vamos. And since then I've started getting just much more acclimated to 9,000 feet.
Lo mejor que hay en la vida es la actividad física. Como dice, en cuerpo sano, mente sana.
6 kilómetros desde que iniciamos hasta aquí, 6 kilómetros.
Sí. Y un poquito más. And I've learned a huge amount, I feel, about the culture, and it's been wonderful to be able to have somebody who I can do the things that I love doing with.
Vida hospitalaria es muy diferente a una vida de aquí de la parte rural. En Riobamba, en un hospital, cuento con todo, con médicos de todas las especialidades, con equipos más sofisticados para los exámenes complementarios de los pacientes. Aquí en un subcentro cuento con lo básico.
Un poquito más lento.
Conforme tú respiras, vamos ahora, otra vez. Es un niño, no está desnutrido, tiene buen peso y buena talla, pero sí lo desparasitamos. Esto le vamos a dar las 2 tabletas y tomen con agua limpia. El agua en cacha está sucia. ¿Qué significa eso? Que van a pasar muchas bacterias y parásitos por el agua. Por eso hay las enfermedades que duele el estómago a cada momento, ¿sí?
I want to go into primary care, and I think I want to go into rural primary care. What I loved about Pacha was they spent a lot more time with the patients. They spent a lot more time asking questions of the patients.
¿Tiene mucha tristeza? ¿No está con alguna pena? ¿No? Las penas matan, pero nosotros tenemos que matar las penas. ¿Sí?
I got to talk to patients about their diseases, about how they're living their lives. ¿Tiene dolor en los oídos? ¿Cuántos días? Anteayer. That was great, because that's the kind of primary care and preventive medicine that I want to be involved with.
It's more than just a language that we're learning here. We really are learning about how to interact with patients of an entirely different culture and anticipate some of the things that they may not think are appropriate to ask, but that you may need to inform them about.
Things are just different than they are in the US, and I think it's important to learn what other cultures do to form that bond with the patient.